The aggression by the Russian Federation against Ukraine dealt a strong blow to international peace and security, to the fundamental principles of international law, and to the international order. This war challenged multilateralism as the basis of the international order on an unprecedented level. And as we all know, the international and security architecture, the most important expression of which are the United Nations, is centered on multilateralism. The current situation is the result of the ignoring of the obligations enshrined in the UN Charter since 1945. Without respect for the sovereign equality and territorial integrity of each member state, we cannot talk about effective multilateralism. So far, we have seen several attempts to redefine the foundations of the international order, but none of those have ever received such wide support as the principles the civilized world established after the horrors of the World War II. In that sense, the deadlock in which the Security Council finds itself as the main body of the United Nations, entitled to preserve and promote international peace and security, was instigated precisely by the non-compliance, and I would say even the conscious bypassing of the basic principles of the international order. It is clear that this impasse diminishes the credibility and confidence of the people that the UN can effectively achieve the key goal for which it was established almost 8 decades ago. Without a credible alternative on the horizon to the current international order, which will harbor a majority support of the nations, it is understandable why the frustration of the people with the United Nations inactivity is getting stronger. It is clear that the modern world is vastly different from the world in 1945, and the UN Security Council should face and reflect this new reality. Within the ongoing debates about the eventual reform of the prime UN body, the question of the veto of the permanent members has to be thoroughly assessed, especially when one of them is involved in a conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, the most urgent task of the Security Council is to be proactively engaged in putting an end to the war in Ukraine. The only way to achieve this goal is through diplomacy and negotiations based on respecting the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. To that end, the first step should be an immediate and unconditional truce in order to create an ambient for a start of negotiations. During the entire process, the United Nations should establish a peacekeeping mission with the main task of monitoring the truce and humanitarian assistance to civilians. Key component of the future peace agreement should be, first, fully respecting the territorial integrity of Ukraine, meaning full withdrawal of all Russian forces, securing all the refugees and internally displaced persons are returned to their homes, massive support for the post-conflict reconstruction of a devastated country, and international guarantees for the rights of all ethnic and religious communities which have been living in Ukraine for centuries. As I said, the war in Ukraine has seriously undermined the credibility of the World Organization, but it offers also an extraordinary opportunity for the Security Council to act in line with the principles of the UN Charter and help restore the people's confidence in the United Nations as an indispensable global organization. I thank you for your attention.